And we are live. Good afternoon. A pleasant afternoon to each and every one of you. Good afternoon to our Zoom participants. Good afternoon to our YouTube, FB, and LinkedIn viewers. Good afternoon, everyone. So it is another live webinar series for a cause powered by Ariva Academy. Our topic today, this afternoon, is an astronaut's perspective. Expand your perspectives to possibilities for growth during COVID 19. This is a part series of our HR Virtual Summit PH Bounce Back HR. My name is Irish Malonda Samson, and everyone that is all welcome. Our moderator, Mr. Howell Mabalot. Hi, Sir
Hello, good
Howell.
afternoon, Miss Irish, the ever beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
It's
So,
a cloudy afternoon here.
yes,
From
yes,
outside
indeed.
my window,
Gloomy.
it's na yung summer.
Yes po. Sir Howell, before we acknowledge our out of the country participants,
Mm.
I would just like to greet first our Zoom participants.
Yes,
So
let's
they
do that.
are, good afternoon, Joma, Gia Chan, good afternoon, Ravi, Dalisay Palaganas, good afternoon, Romel De Guia, Carlo Rialingo, Benzila Maria Bernal, good afternoon. Okay. And now, let's welcome our out of the country participants. They are watching from Toronto, Canada, Vancouver, Canada, Kowloon City, Hong Kong, Gapi, India, Kuwait, Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia, Lalitpur, Nepal, Doha, Qatar, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, UAE, Los Angeles, and Cambridge, Massachusetts, United States. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Okay, so in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session, here are the house rules. Who are the first time viewers of our webinar? Please type in hi in the chat box now. Hello, Antonio Alvarado from Taguig. He is watching from Taguig. Alexandria Donna, welcome to our e-learning session. Lester, Maria, Dan Buenaventura, Ivy Jewel, Maria Luisa Gonzalez, Timothy Josh Domingo. Okay, Mary Ann Gianan from Parañaque City. Hello. Jope, Playa. So, medyo marami, Sir Howell. Okay. Margaret, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's do an audio check now. You will be needing a good quality headset. Please use the following codes. Type in out now 111 to show if you can hear us. We are loud and clear and audible right now. Okay, so far 111. Thank you, Romel, Emilu, Maria, Jay, Rosalinda. Thank you. 222 means you cannot hear us. No sound at all. 2121 means the sound is breaking up or there's a log, and question mark if you don't understand anything. So far, 111. Oh, wait, I'm seeing 2121. Okay.
Because of cloudy skies.
But so far, 111. Am I clear now?
Pretty.
Okay, 111. And moving on. We will be having a quick break later after the presentation of our guest speaker and before we move on to our question and answer portion. For question and answer guidelines, participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by the administrator during discussion to avoid interruptions. Questions will be entertained after each topic of the session. For questions and clarification during the provided time after each topic, please click the raise hand button for the administrator to enable the microphone for live questions. Yes, later at the question and answer portion, we will entertain live questions from our Zoom participants. Type in your questions at the Q&A box. One question at a time will be entertained. For comments and feedback, okay. For comments and feedback, please scan this QR code. This will be directed to our feedback form. Please send us your comments, suggestions, topics to discuss in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session. And now to discuss an astronaut's perspective, expand your perspectives to possibilities for growth during COVID-19. Mr. Howell Mabalot, please introduce our speaker this afternoon.
Thank you, Miss Irish Malon Samson, our dear president, for the opportunity to use our speaker today.
Sir Howell, you're a bit choppy right
Choppy,
now.
I am choppy. Okay, so,
Let's check, sir. Or would you want me to introduce the speaker instead while resetting?
can you hear me? Oh,
A bit choppy still,
choppy
sir.
pa rin. So,
Opo.
next. So, we'll
You will
go
reset, sir.
and B. I will have to
Yes.
sit. I will join. Hey!
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes, I will be introducing our speaker. She is a motivational keynote speaker, award-winning trainer, and perspective coach. Based on her real-life changing experiences, she strongly believes that human perspective play a huge role in their overall growth to live an abundant and purposeful life. She delivered her keynote in multiple countries. She is the founder of NeuroExcel Limited, a training and consulting company based in Singapore. She is passionate to help teams to improve their performance by effectively adapting to change and achieve team goals. She can help a group of individuals to work together as a productive team, improving their performance irrespective of gender, generational, and active ethnic diversity. She works with universities and educational institutions to help students and educators to adopt a growth mindset to stay focused and achieve their goals. She is a licensed NLP master professional and trainer by co-creator of NLP, Dr. Richard Bandler from London. She is a published contributing author and had been contributing to a social cause pertaining to education for underprivileged as corporate social responsibility. Everyone is all now welcome Coach Rafiya Sultana. Hello.
Welcome, Coach Rafiya Sultana.
Hello, Irish. Happy afternoon to you, and hello, Howell. Happy afternoon to you too.
Yeah. Can you hear me properly, Ma'am Rafiya?
Yeah, yes, I can.
Am I breaking? Sound breaking up or? Go ahead. Miss Irish to the rescue. Irish, hello?
Yes, sir?
Rescue ka muna, ha?
Oh, sure, no
With
problem.
Rafiya. So I'm still, sounds still choppy.
Yes, a bit. Yes, sir.
You again.
Hi, Ms. Rafiya. You can now share your slides.
Okay.
Can you share it now, ma'am? Okay, while waiting for Ms. Rafiya, are you okay, ma'am? I would like
Yes.
Oh.
I'm in.
Oh, there you go. Great, we can see your presentation now. Go ahead.
I can't see you.
Oh, though we can see you clearly as well as your presentation, Ms. Rafiya. So you can go ahead and present your talk.
Okay. Lovely afternoon and happy afternoon to everyone. I'm Rafiya Sultana. As Irish said, I'm here to just have a chat and share my message with you so that I can bring a tiny change in the world. So today's topic, as Irish mentioned, it's astronaut's perspective. Astronaut's perspective. You must be thinking that why she chose this word, an astronaut's perspective. Expand your perspectives to possibilities for growth. So here is the reason. Astronauts, when they go into space, when they look back to the Earth, they have a totally different perspective from the moon than what they have seen and experienced and felt when they are on the Earth. So, what makes them think differently? So, before that, let's start with a question. What is your vision? Did you ever think of what is your vision in your life? Please help me answer your question through this poll.
Okay, everyone, let's answer the poll number one. What is your vision? One, I don't know. I am working on it, or I need clarity. So you can submit your answers now. Okay, so far, Coach Rafiya, most of our attendees are 67%. I am working on it.
That's wonderful.
26, yes, I need clarity, 26%, and I don't know, 7%. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your reply. And that is true. This is what I feel the same about myself. It's always work in progress. But once we get the clarity about what we want in our life, and once we get the clarity about our vision, our life becomes much easier. So right now we know the kind of impact the whole world is having because of the COVID-19, and its impact is making situation much and much worse for the people and their mindset, which is letting them to get into the cycles of anxiety, fear, depression, and all those negative emotions, which is stopping their growth and which is not even letting them to adjust or adapt to the new normal. So what else we can do in this case? Adapting to new normal. So this is what I came up with in 3 R's formula, and I call it as recover, reprogram, and revamp. And what does it mean? What is recover and what is reprogram and revamp? So this is what we are going to discuss in today's topic of an astronaut's perspective. So kindly bear with me. I want to share my story from my background when I was in my lowest point of my life, where uncertainty, fear, and all those limiting beliefs were completely covered my sanity and completely covered my consciousness, that I could not see any ray of hope around me, and I could not see what will be my next step. So it was 1:30 a.m. in the night, and it was pitch dark. I was in my living room window. I was sitting on the window of my living room. It was pitch dark, with one of my leg hanging outside the window and one of the leg hanging inside the home. And guess now what I was doing? Sitting there, and what I was trying to do and thinking to do sitting there. Well, yeah, I think most of you already guessed about it. This is true that I was trying to jump out of the window at that point of time. And those are the thoughts which were crushing my soul, crushing my confidence, crushing my presence and existence in this world, that I wanted to end everything in this life. So imagine what happened next. Yes, you're right. I didn't jump, thankfully. That's why I'm here today to share my story with you and inspire with my journey, which completely changed my life for good. So, that point of uncertainty, when I was about to jump out of the window, thankfully I was saved. And when I came, I just just seconds after that moment, when I was saved, all that was there in my mind is, why me? Why this pain is causing me to be in the point where I am today? Why people suffer? Why I cannot grow like others? Why I cannot be successful in life like others? So let me tell you why, first of all, why I tend to get to that point of jumping out of the window. So at the age of 6, I had this big dream of becoming an astronaut. I worked really hard from the age 6 to 21, 22 until the completion of my graduation. I managed to get the space in engineering university. I completed my university and I was pretty much going on my path of being an astronaut, and everything was going fine. I was highly committed, highly respected, and in my community, many of the parents, they were telling that this is how it's supposed to be. My girl, I wish my girl can be like you. I was well appreciated for everything that I have been doing at that point of time. So from that point to this point, what actually happened that led me to jump out of the window? Simply, I had to leave my dream, and I realized that I cannot achieve the dream anymore. The dream that I have been living from the age of 6 to 21 for 15 years, and I did not look back or look around that dream. And I have no idea of socializing. I have no idea of what is happening around this bubble of my dream. So once this bubble blasted, I could not see the light. I can only see the darkness. At that moment, I thought I'm doing it well, but eventually within 2 years, it totally drained my energy, and it led me to the point that no one ever, ever, ever should go to. So after that incident, my mind keep asking me many questions. What is the purpose of my life? What is the vision of my life? Why even I'm here? I am a failure. I have no direction in life. I don't know what to do next. I have no clarity what to do next. So that was the point. I call it as uncertainty, when I was at the lowest point of my life. Then started my journey of self discovery, where I wanted to get all these answers of human behavior, why people behave in certain way, why they feel pain, if there are few people who are highly achievers, and why they are achieving, if there are people who cannot achieve what they want, why they could not be achieving, what is draining their energy, human behavior. As I got into psychology, I started my journey of self discovery to realize what I am, why I am here, what is my vision in my life, and what are my strengths and weaknesses. So that led me to the journey of self discovery, where I realized my strengths and weaknesses. And then from that point of self discovery to self mastery, once I realized that these are my strengths and weaknesses, I can see changes in my life which are positive, and I started growing strength to strength. I got my awards I got my certifications, licenses in multiple courses and multiple areas where it makes me to be who I am today. This happened fast forward 10 years. So it took me 8 to 10 long years to be who I am and stand here and share my story with you to inspire. So, what all in this 8 and 10 years of a research and understanding the dynamics of human behavior and uh, the way people excel in certain way, why they are excelling. If the people who cannot do this, why they could not be able to. So, though after all these, I realized that there is one common thing which is commonly differentiating people who are high achievers and who are average and below average performance, and that is their mindset. So in my journey of self discovery and from self discovery to self mastery, if you think that there are no lowest points again, if there are no such failures again, then it's wrong. Indeed, I had my fair share of sacrifices, pain, and uh, many failures in my way to be who I am today. Yes, I mean, in my path of success, definitely I had disappointment and I had many criticism. I faced failures. There were adversities, there were rejections, sacrifices. I was disappointed, but I did not get back to the point where I started because I was working on my mindset throughout this process, which was helping me to stay focused in what I have been doing. So, in my journey of self discovery and self mastery, there is one thing which I learned is your perspective is the key for your growth. Your perspective, your point of view about your own life, your point of view about your strengths, your weaknesses, your blessings, your resources, everything that you're already given that you can utilize to be successful and reach the point wherever you want to reach. And what is this perspective? Why it is so important? So that's the topic today. And in our formula of 3 R's, where recover, reprogram, and revamp our journey to adapt to the new normal, our perspectives our perspectives plays a huge and vital role. So, what is stopping this? What is the main root cause that is causing those negative emotions in our mind and which is letting us to get to the point which where no one want to go, and that is negativity. Negativity was something that I realized which was stopping me to be who I am, be happy, be clear about my path, and stay focused on what I want to do. But before that, all I found my why I want to do what I want to do. I found that answer first, then that led me to continue my path of success. So, talking about negativity, may I request you to answer this question on when was the last time you changed your perspective for positive results in your life? Whenever you got into those negative, vicious cycles of fear, anxiety, and depression, what did you do to change your perspective so that you can get positive results? Please answer your question.
Okay, so we have 3 choices. You cannot do that, you cannot get results, or you don't understand. So it's all about not. Cannot, cannot, do not. Am I coming across clear, Ma'am Rafiya?
Sorry?
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me, please.
Okay. So we're giving them 1 minute.
Sure.
Okay, so the result will be in a few seconds now. Can you see them answering?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so we'll share via YouTube the result in a few seconds. And here's the result. Cannot get results.
So that's true. I do that, but cannot get results. And 85% of attendees in today's session answered that I do that, but cannot get results. 8% I don't understand. 7% I cannot do that. So, as per the results, it's clear that we try to get positive results. Nobody purposely want to be in the state of negativity or in the state of failure or in the state of any kind of negative emotion which is causing them pain or fear or anxiety. It is not by purpose. So, is there anything that we can do to change our perspectives in certain ways so that we can get positive results every time we attempt to get positive results out of a negative event which is happening in our life? Like in my case, whatever happened that caused me to the extreme position where no one need to go. Thank you for your answers. Moving forward to our moving forward to our session today. So, talking about negativity, do you know the life cycle of a lobster? Lobster is a soft, mushy animal which grows inside a hard shell under the sea. And that hard shell helps it to protect itself from predators. And now that as this lobster grows day by day, it feels uncomfortable because that shell is hard and it is not growing. So, as per the life cycle of a lobster, it goes behind the rocks and casts off this hard shell to grow a whole new shell. And once the shell is completely grown, then it comes back to its normal position so that it can protect itself from the predators. Now, imagine if these lobsters have doctors. The moment they feel uncomfortable, they go to those doctors, and those doctors may give medicine. And after having that medicine, they may not even try to think of growing because the temporary pain is taken care. So, like lobsters, we human beings have a shell of negativity around our mind, which is stopping our growth. And this is what I learned in my journey as well, when I was at the point of uncertainty. Before that, let us do this tiny experiment. So I'm sure all of you have got a pen and paper with you. If not, that's okay. Anyhow, I'm going to show you. Imagine that now I'm just trying to take this paper and trying to poke this pen slowly into this paper. And I'm not moving this paper, but I'm only moving this pencil. So as you see, there is a hole. And now I'm keeping this pencil. I'm not moving this pencil, and now I'm moving this paper towards this pencil and it is. So case 1, case 2. In both the cases, if you see, is there any damage done to this pencil? And is there any damage done to this paper? You can answer S to me in the question and answers or in the chat room if you observe that or if you practice that exercise.
Ravi Hintog says yes.
That's awesome.
Carlo Chris, Marisa Sibayan. Yes. Jericho Bundok, yes.
Thank you so much.
Rosalinda Cabasan, Antonio Alvarado, and some more.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for your answers. So what we can do to is build an emotional want to be. So we all have dreams, we all have aspirations to live with. But if we do not have emotional resilience to deal with the pain and the rejections and the failures that we have to face along this way, and be mindful that these are also necessary because we need to learn all the lessons which are important to grow, and those lessons we learn only with these failures. But at the same time, if we do not develop this emotional resilience to face these failures, there is a tendency to give up. So that's the reason why most of the high achievers, they are reaching to that level. It doesn't mean that they are not facing failures, it just means that they know how to handle their failures and turn that pain to power. So once we build this emotional resilience as a support system, no matter what you want to achieve in your goal, negativity, fears, and anxiety cannot stop you to be who you want to be. So talking about emotions, emotional resilience, to build the emotional resilience, what we need. We as human beings, we have certain emotions that we experience under different circumstances. And if we master these emotions, if we can find what emotions makes me happy, if you can tag that emotion of your own, that we call it as a self-awareness, then you can master your emotions, which will help you to build resilience. But is that what important and enough to perform or achieve your goals? No. Once we master our own emotions and once we master our own the way we are connecting with others, or the way we are talking to others, the way we are connecting with our own inner strengths is mastered, the next comes people. If you want to succeed and if you want to achieve the results that you want, even especially in this phase of COVID, I'm sure many of the project managers and leaders, they're still struggling to motivate their teams to stay focused and productive, because they are finding it hard to motivate their teams because their emotional strength is get depleting day by day because of whatever is happening around. So there are many different some circumstances. I agree that it is a COVID phase, many people are struggling, but is there still a way to help them stay motivated? Yes, there is. So if we can communicate the risk, and if you can communicate uh, the possibilities to the people or your team members or your family members in such a way that they're not only understanding but also voluntarily willing to adapt to the new change, and also voluntarily willing to put that extra effort to work together as a team to achieve team goals. So for that, we need, as a team leader, or as a member, as an employee, or as a family member, or as a head of a family, you need to understand the emotions of the other person. For that, we need to be compassionate and empathetic enough so that you can connect well with others. We are humans and we are social animals, and we cannot live alone and we cannot achieve anything alone. It's all about the teamwork. So once we master our skills of emotions, which we call as self-awareness, and then comes to the people, which we call it as a social awareness. Performance is a obvious outcome. And let me tell you, this is emotions, self-awareness, social awareness, then comes performance, but it cannot be other way around. But if you're trying to push yourself thinking that I want to perform well without even focusing on your self-awareness, on your strengths, the way you connect with your inner self and the way you connect with your people, you will find hard time, and that's what we call it as an anxiety. That's what brings us to the point where we always struggle with the fear of failure. So, whenever we are in the state of change and uncertainty or confusion, please make sure that are you being totally aware of your own thoughts and emotions, and what are those thoughts that you're allowing in your mind? Because in a day, as we know, like we do thousands of decisions in a whole day, and we get multiple thousands and millions of thoughts in a day. So in my journey, there is one of the beautiful lesson that I learned is E plus R equals O. Now here E is an event, any event which is happening in our life, and R is the response, and O becomes the outcome. Event is not in our control because we are human being and we cannot predict or change what is going to happen next. We can be in the present moment and we can act and we can do everything in our present moment, but we don't know what will happen in the next moment. So event is not in our control. Outcome is not fully in our control because outcome is the combination of the event, any event that is happening, and the response to the event, the way we are responding. If this COVID is happening around, what we are doing, what kind of questions that we are asking to ourselves? Are we in our self talk, or when we are communicating with our team members or with our family members, are we being aware that are we giving them statements which is closing their mind, or we are creating a structured questions, well framed questions that will let them to think, rethink, and find solutions? So it all depends. If E is not in our control, outcome is not in our control, but there is one thing which is our response is in our control. It's not the fear that makes you be in misery forever, but it's that feeling of fear and the way you multiply, because one, it is all it what it all takes is just one negative thought in a day. If we do not work on that one negative thought, it gets multiplies, and that led you to the point where no one need to go. But if we have the self-awareness of our own emotions and what is happening in our life, and no matter what happens, if we accept this fact that no matter what happens in my event, it's all in my mind, and it all depends on how I respond to the situation. I call it as 10-90 rule. 90% of what happens in our life is all about how we respond to that, and only 10% is what actually happens. It's not my analogy, it's a proven fact. If that is the fact, then why we cannot accept, why we need to get into those negative cycles of fear and anxiety? Because it is neither helping you nor people who are surrounded by you, because your energy is carried away to others who are around you. So what we can do, E plus R equals O is our equation. No matter what happens in our life, if we can find a way to change the way we respond to the situation so that we can always get a positive outcome, which is O, your life can be much more easier than you expect. Yes, even during the this change and uncertainty, because we can lose anything, but we cannot lose our state. Event. E event, R is response and outcome. So R, so let's focus more on R. So how we can respond, because just now through the poll we realized that we kind of try to change our perspectives, but still we could not get the result. So what do you think is, so I did my research, case studies for years, and what I realized is it's again goes back to our perspectives. Our perspectives about that particular situations, and those perspectives are formed based on the kind of thoughts that you're allowing in your mind, connecting to that event, with whatever event is happening, and all those, and also it is decided by your belief system that you accumulated right from your, from the experiences of your childhood, and your values that you attained from your background, your family background, your childhood, the way you brought up. So all these together, those past experiences create certain emotion. It could be a fear or anything, but trust me, we all create this in our mind. Any problem that happens in our life, first we create in our mind, then it becomes a reality. So if we can do something, when the moment when it is created in our mind, if we can do something to uh, realign our thoughts here itself, we can stop those negative events or emotions to be a reality. Because what I learned is that in my journey of self discovery, what we think is what we believe, what we believe is what we do. So if you believe that you can be a better person, you can be a better person. If you believe that you can conquer your fears and anxiety, you can do that. Yes, it is a bit of work. Most of the time we fail because we do not follow the process, because it's a process. It may not happen overnight, but you can do it over the period of time. So all that we need to do is, okay, let's before that, let's go ahead with one more poll question. And the question is, please help me to answer this question. When was the last time when you took responsibility for others' actions? Answers: I will never do that. I do that, depending on the circumstances. So please help me answer these questions.
Okay, so for our participants in the Zoom room, just choose one of the three choices. When was the last time you took responsibility for others' action? I'm not sure if it's a trick question because it's about taking responsibility for other people's action. So I will never do that, the first choice. I do that, second choice. And third choice, depending on circumstances. We're excited to find out who among our participants will take responsibility for other people's actions. Okay. Rafiya, do you see the
Okay.
result now?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. So what I can see, the answer is depending on circumstances. Wonderful. So this is what I was looking for. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain why it happened. So depending on circumstances, I do agree that uh, we kind of tend to focus on more on our circumstances. But as this 10 by 90 rule says, it's all about how we respond than what happens. It doesn't matter what kind of circumstances you are in. It doesn't matter what kind of people you are surrounded with. Yes, there could be people who are not in alignment with your thought process or in alignment with your values and belief system. But it doesn't mean that the moment we change our focus, our consciousness to those circumstances which are stopping you, those thoughts gets multiplied. So if you want to cut that vicious cycle at the beginning itself, when the problem is created in our mind that okay, this person is giving me a problem or this circumstances, are immediately to take responsibility. And what does it mean? R, if we want to learn how to respond to the situation so that we can get a positive outcome no matter what happens in life, is to take a responsibility. And what is this responsibility? Responsibility is response plus ability. Your ability to respond to the situation, but not to react. That's what can bring you results, and that will not let you get into the issues or the blame game of the circumstances or the people, and that will ease your pain. Why we even need to take responsibility of others action? Because just now I showed you this exercise of pen and paper. The pen and the paper, in that case, the paper is a mind and the pen is the negativity. No matter the negativity is coming near you, or you are going towards the negativity, ultimately you are the one who will be impacted badly. So what we can do to stay away from this negativity? So we need to do every action that is important to be in a state of positivity, and that we can do by taking responsibility. If others are doing mistakes, just forgive them. If you are doing mistakes, just forgive yourself. If you think you do not have enough resources to achieve whatever you want or to survive, I mean, first of all, to survive, because we are in this mode of survival, think about, have some gratitude and think about what are you already having. The moment you change that shift, you are saving yourself from this negativity. As I mentioned, this negativity will, it can come from others when the circumstances and the people who are creating those negative emotions or events around you, or if it is your self talk, like when you are giving those negative affirmations to your mind, ultimately you are the one who is getting impacted in a negativity. So please take responsibility, no matter whatever mistake is done by others, by yourself. Please forgive and practice gratitude and forgiveness and mindfulness. Be in this moment. Think about what is happening now, what I can do now to take responsibility, and I can, so that I can get positive outcome. Because I do not want to stay in this state of negativity for a long time. So please develop this ability to respond. And how we can do that? How we can develop that ability to respond, but not to react? Because when we react, what we get is all those negative emotions which are not desirable: anxiety, fear, and depression. I think we just had our poll already. So what we can do? So what we can do to respond is reframing. Reframing is one of the beautiful technique, and it is a scientifically proven technique that you can apply in any point of your life and in any point of your um, uh, in any event that is happening to you or causing you pain. Is reframing. Let's say it is your birthday and you are on the way to your office. The moment you step into the office, you will be expecting everyone to, wish you or give you some gifts and do some special things for you. But imagine at the same time your boss comes and he scolds you for something which you did wrong in a previous day. Obviously, you don't know that it's your birthday, or maybe he knows, but still he was angry, which was totally unexpected and uncertain at that point of time, because we all have certain expectations about life to happen in this way, and we get into this negative emotions of fear or disappointment the moment our expectations are not met as per our plans or as per our expectations from others. That's where we get into negativity. So please try to reframe. So at that point of time when your boss came, so there are two things that you can do. Either get disappointed because that was the first day and first hour in a day in your office where you were expecting a lot, but everything gone wrong. And so by the end of this, either you can think that my whole of my day is gone, or you can think that maybe there is something, maybe my boss is having here what we are doing, we are taking responsibility instead of blaming boss, or instead of blaming yourself for doing something wrong. If we accept and take the responsibility, maybe there is something that I really did wrong, so okay, it's okay, I can correct it. And also convince yourself that I have rest of my day, and there are many other colleagues of mine and family members. They may give you gifts, and they may treat you the way you're expecting. If you allow yourself to get into this disappointment of the first incident, you may not even enjoy if others are giving you those gifts. But if the moment you reframe, you are saving the rest of the day to be happy and active and enjoy your day. So that's one of the example of reframing. And this reframing, it's a very deep technique. I mean, I think this 1 hour is not enough to explain that. I usually explain in my coaching and training methodology, because it's a process how to respond so that we can turn any change in our life into a possibility for growth. So reframing is one of the technique which helps you to take responsibility and change that emotion or change that event into something positive, so that you can consistently be in state of positivity. So that's where our mind shift happens. The moment we take responsibility, the moment we start consciously taking effort to reframe whatever is happening, that's where our mind shift happens. That's where we can see more possibilities than problems around us. And it may not happen overnight. Yes, as we know, as we mentioned, like depending on circumstances it happens, but we consciously follow through certain process and certain techniques, it is possible. So reframing is one of the techniques. There are many other techniques. Even if you want, you can connect with me after this session. So there are many methodologies that we usually apply to help them uh, to get rid of those negative emotions which are holding them back. So we can completely shift our focus from problems to possibilities, and that shift takes, and that mind shift happens only when we take responsibility and when we respond but not react. And once we react and once we respond, so to respond, what is the primary thing is our perspectives. We need to change our perspective. So this reframing or any other technique that we are applying to change the impact of that negative event in our life, what we are doing is, it is all changing our perspective. So we are changing our perspectives in a way, and we are realigning our thoughts and perspective in such a way so that uh, uh, we can realign our perspectives towards our goal, which will keep us focused no matter what happens in life, and which will also save our time. So then peak performance becomes your habit, because it is a work to be done. It is a process, but once you understand this process and once you follow through this process, you will realize it is much more easier than to do. So based on my experience, so before I close this section, I want to give you a tiny gift of the acronym that I created, SMILE. As we know, when we smile, we feel good about ourselves, and even it is also one of the technique, and it's a proven fact that when we change our physiology, it changes our psychology. No matter how depressed I am, if I even tend to change, open up my muscles and try to smile, it kind of changes my psychology. It's a proven fact. So based on that, SMILE, I just picked from that. But what actually SMILE means is, it will help you to stay away from negativity and stay productive. There are many more other tools, but this is one of the tools that I use. SMILE. Surround yourself with positive and like-minded people, because you are the average of 5 people that you hang out with. So choose the people who change, who helps you to be who you are. Find your tribe. We today we are blessed to live in this era of technology. Now communication is much more easier. Choose your tribe who consistently motivates you, consistently pushes you to be who you are. Invest in yourself. Invest your time, invest your mind, and invest your money, even if it is needed. When I wanted to change my life from being no one, from the point of uncertainty to be who I am today, what all I did is I invested time, I invested my mind, because to stay focused I have to make sure that I am in a positive state of mind, and I am in a position to accept and move forward. So investing in yourself is very important. And L, S-M-I-L, is let go of negativity to stay focused on why. So which is very, very important. I already shared about the story of a lobster and how it can impact so badly in your life. So if you anything that you can take away, please focus on this one slide saying let go of negativity to stay focused on your why. Whenever you feel low, think from the point where you started to the point where you are right now, and look at your bigger picture. What is your bigger goal? Why you all started first of all, to reach this point? Why you even want to achieve what you want to do? Then naturally your focus will shift from problems to possibilities. And E is exercise, which is very important. I highly recommend, because exercise is something which can be physical, mental, or emotional, that keeps you completely in a discipline. So physical exercise, obviously we know our dopamine levels, it keeps our dopamine levels low, so we'll be highly productive. Mental exercises, reading books. If you're religious, if you are mental exercise, if you are a spiritual person, you can do your meditation. If you're a religious person, please go and pray. Prayer is a great form of exercise for your mind, because it calms down your mind. And to tell you, if we want to find solutions, we cannot find any solutions with a negative and disturbed mind. We cannot get positive results in our life with a negative mindset. And as Einstein says, we cannot get the solution from the same kind of conscious that we cannot get solutions to the problems from the same consciousness that we created them. So if we are having the same consciousness when the problem is created, and we are not doing anything to change in our mindset, we consistently will get the same kind of results. So obviously we need to do our mental exercise. It takes a certain discipline to stay focused. It takes a certain habits that I'm going to publish in my book. So I'm writing my book, upcoming book, Perspective Matters, so where I'll be clearly mentioning about all these. And the another one is emotional exercises. Is nothing but focusing on your thoughts, what you're letting in, your habits, while watching TV, while when you are in conversation with others, when you hear something from the any external resources, how you're processing that information. It makes a huge difference. And we already discussed about self and social awareness part, so that's what comes under the exercise, which is an emotional exercise for you. So I hope it is helpful. I know that there is much more to discuss on this, because it is not so easy to cover everything in 1 hour. So if any one of you want to know more about my formula, adapting to new normal, recover, reprogram, and revamp, you can connect with me after this session. So recover is the process where we are accepting the situation. Until we accept the situation, we cannot change it. Reprogram is nothing but trying to consciously put some effort to take responsibility of what all happening in our life, and change our mindset and change our perspectives, so that we can reprogram our mind to be in the state of positivity. And revamp is nothing but taking action. And by the time you reach the revamp, you are ready with your support system, which is nothing but your emotional resilience plan, emotional resilience support system, which will always be with you whenever you face negativity and rejections, to be like a protective shield around you. I hope this session helped you. And if you have any more questions, you can ask me. As Irish mentioned, I have my coaching sessions where I usually follow through this methodology, and I call it as an astronaut's perspective, because being an astronaut was my dream. At that point of time, I could not do so. I gave that name to it, and also it has a deep meaning, because astronauts can see everything in a different perspective. So if we can see our life from a different perspective, where we can always live an abundant and purposeful life, nothing can stop us. No uncertainty and change can stop us to live the life that we want. So before closing this session, of course, we have a question and answer session. I want to leave you with this, one of my favorite quote, which is, change your perspectives to turn every change in your life into an opportunity of growth. This is one of the lessons I learned and I live, and I realized that we can potentially grow in every area. Here, growth means it's not only about being successful in what you do, but it is about your holistic growth. It is about your mentally, physically, and emotionally, how you're growing as a better person in this journey of achieving your goals. So with this, I am closing this. Over to Irish.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Rafiya Sultana. We have just a clamor for the letter M in the acronym SMILE. What's letter M for?
Oh, okay. Is that
Because
missing?
we
I'm
never
sorry.
saw it. Because we have
Oh,
seen
okay. Sorry. Okay, M is. I'm sorry. I think it's missing. M is nothing but a mentor.
mentor.
M is mentor. So as we know, we are always having these time management issues, right? Because sometimes we have our families, we have our work, and we have n number of excuses to not to do what we want to do. So mentors are someone who can save your time because they have been there and done there. They can you can approach them. They can be your family members, your colleagues, your seniors, or professionals like us. It can be anyone. So please do not hesitate to reach out to those mentors, which will help them to fast track your process of growth in your life. So that was M. I think that was missing in the slide.
Thank you, Ma'am Rafiya. Again, put your hands together for Ma'am Rafiya Sultana. Those are the practical steps. Wow, and being someone who aspired to be an astronaut, it's really important for us to see a different perspective on how to deal with crises such as COVID-19. So we'll pause for a break, 2-minute break, Ma'am Rafiya, so you can grab maybe something, something, a glass of water or a cup of coffee, and our clients, our participants, you may type in your question for the next 2 minutes.
Sure.
Q&A box.
Thank you. See you soon. See you soon, everyone.
Okay, see you in 2 minutes, everyone. Don't you go away.
Yes, I'm right here waiting for you. Please come back.